that off as they break away. Slow to get going, utmost good faith. It is Constitution River, the hot pot, straight at the front, followed by Country to Law. Spangled Sands disputes third, the end of a furlong with Derry. Together next are Massaban and Fat Above the Limit, and then Sunrise Angel, and trailing the field is Utmost Good Faith. Racing up towards the 5 furlong point, and it is Constitution River joined by Country to Law, followed by Derry on the inside of Spangled Sands, and then Fat Above the Limit, Massaban. Utmost Good Faith relegates Sunrise Angel to be last of the 8, who come down towards the halfway stage in the Aventus EBF Maiden over 7 furlongs. Constitution River and Wayne Lordan. One out is Country to Law and Gary Carroll, 2 lengths to Derry. Shane Foley shading third from Spangled Sands, ridden along in 4th as they begin the uphill run for the straight. Constitution River by a half to 3 parts. Nudged along second, Country to Law. Breaking 2.5, 3 cleared of Derry, and then Spangled Sands and Massaban next, then Fat Above the Limit, Utmost Good Faith and Sunrise Angel. In they come for the final furlong. The leader is Constitution River and appears to have shrugged aside Country to Law. Then Derry. Spangled Sands is running on late in the pace, but it is Constitution River. And Wayne Lordan out in front, Spangled Sands into second. Constitution River wins the first of the flats, the Aventus EBF Maiden. Second, Spangled Sands. In third was Derry.
Very, very straightforward for the 5-1 on favourites. Constitution River, who has delivered here under Wayne Lordan, building on the promise of that debut effort at Newmarket with the minimum of fuss. And he does hold the Group 2 Futurity entry a little bit further down the line. We'll see whether he takes that one up or not, but this is the next step along the way for a very slow start from one of the newcomers, Utmost Good Faith. The winner able to push forward from his draw in stall 3, and the other one who goes forward down is Country to Law, but that one really did far too much in the early part of the race and just hasn't been able to finish off, and he's not going to fulfill the potential of that Curragh debut until he learns to settle a bit better.
Yeah, exactly, and they kind of lit each other up a little bit, didn't they, Gary, on the front end? And yeah, Constitution River was maybe lit up a little bit by Country to Law up on his outside, but Country to Law, he just never dropped the bridle for Gary Carroll at all. He's up on the outside, he's doing way more than Gary Carroll wants him to do. He's just wanting him to settle a little bit better, and he's run well for all of that. I think ultimately faded into 4th place, but Constitution River, he's now settled into his rhythm, pricking his ears, having a look around him, and he saw off the challenge of Country to Law as they raced around the home turn. Everything that's coming under right in behind. Spangled Sands, just for Brian's horse in the Bronson Racing colours, he's done well. He's stayed on nicely from here all the way up the hill to take 2nd place, and Massaban has kept on well as well. Dermot Wells' horse in the Ekican colours, but Constitution River just going for home. He's just having a little look there as he runs around the home turn, but got lots in hand. He stretches away impressively, and it's left to Spangled Sands to stay on the outside to take 2nd place behind him.
Yes, nice effort from Spangled Sands, who's fared best of the newcomers here. Derry running well in 3rd. That one did have some experience to bring from a barrier trial at Naas earlier on in the year, but Constitution River well on top of the finish. Still very early days for him, Don. Do you think we're looking at a pretty smart horse here?
Yeah, could be, Gary. Like on his Newmarket run the last day, that was a really good run. He and the Godolphin horse Distant Storm, they pulled nicely clear of the rivals, and he was kind of racing out towards the centre that day. He's come on here. There's obviously, as evidenced by his SP, there was lots of confidence behind him in the market. He's justified all of that confidence. He's won really nicely. You know, you couldn't really ask for much more than what he's done, given his breeding as well by Wootton Bassett out of a mare as a sister to Wonderful Tonight. It was a high-class middle distance filly or mare for Devon Menissier. Then yeah, this is only his 2nd run. He's probably didn't need to step forward much from his Newmarket run the last day, but he's used that experience and gone up the hill well here, so yeah, lots to like about him.
2 very short price favourites on today's card. Davy Crockett did the business in the opener, and Constitution River has followed suit here in the Aventus Irish EBF Maiden. And to find out exactly what price, as we have another look at the closing stages from the overhead angle, see the moment that Wayne Lordan just begins to turn the screw on Constitution River and settle the issue into that home turn.
Yeah, they haven't really come from behind, have they? The Derry has kept on to finish third in the end. He got the better of Country Law for the third spot. And Spangled Sands, he's come under a ride from a little way out, but he's responded well for Dylan Brown McMonigal, and he's stayed on nicely. He's a newcomer, and he's a brother to Symbolise, who finished second in the Balmoral handicap for Andrew Balding. So it's a very encouraging run from him. There's a lot to like about the way that he stayed on. He's shaped as if he could maybe benefit from stepping up to a mile.
Another look at the closing stages from the tracker cam here. Winner stretching out well and putting daylight between himself and his rivals. This was where Country to Law hit a bit of a wall after his exertions in the earlier part of the race. There's definitely something to work with there, but as I say, he's going to have to channel his energies a bit more effectively for that potential to be realised. In any case, it is Aidan O'Brien and Wayne Lordan who strike. Wayne's off to Goodwood tomorrow, where he rides Scandinavia in the Goodwood Cup. Let's go back to Anthony for the starting prices.
Thank you, Gary. Jockey and trainer won this last year with Rock of Cashel. Wasn't favoured on that occasion. This lad was the heavy favourite, and he has delivered as such. Bit hassled on the lead early, but he swatted his rivals aside like they just weren't on his level. And given he cost a pretty penny and that he came from France, there'd be French premiums in play if you target him, as some of those races are near the back end. And given the damn side of the pedigree as well, and the fact he's winning over 7 furlongs as a 2-year-old, you fancy that better will be to come when he sees a trip, whether it'll be in his 2-year-old career or waiting for his 3-year-old. Time will tell, but he's passed the test with flying colours, really. He couldn't really do any more than he had on just his second start. With Rock of Cashel, the winner last year, ended up being rated 101. I'd imagine Connections will be hoping that Constitution River rates that little bit higher, at least. He is won by 3 3/4 lengths in the Aventus Irish EBF Colson Galving's maiden over 7 furlongs. Wayne Lordan, Aidan O'Brien, in the colours of Michael Table, co-owners Derek Smith and Mrs. John Magnier and Westerberg. Second, Spangled Sands, making up ground when others weren't, 11-1. There was a bit to like about his run there as well. The same with Dari as well, back in third at 14-1, but they were playing for places behind an impressive winner. Constitution River, maybe the shortest price winner this week we've already seen in just the third race.
Yes, Wayne Lordan joins me now after partnering his first winner, the first flat race of the week in Constitution River. Fairly straightforward. He was coming here. He'd have been very shocked if this lag got big.
Yeah, he's a lovely colt. He went to Newmarket. We, thought he was a very nice colt. He's run quite well. He improved from that to today. I thought it'd be very straightforward. When he jumped, I went about 5 strides and he was having a good look at everything. So in fairness to him, I think mentally he'll improve plenty for today. He's a horse that's going to stay, but he's a beautiful big horse. So I think, as time goes on, he's going to stay improving.
And obviously he had a good look, as you said, everything. He'll improve a good bit from that experience too.
Yeah, that's it. It felt like, to be honest, when I hit the line, it didn't feel like I opened up 100%, because it felt like he was just watching everything around him. So he's an exciting colt to look forward to.
Took you a while to pull him up to, which that was a good sign.
It did. That's the one you'd like to see as well. So no, it was good.
Trip wise, where do you see him fit at the moment?
Look, I think going up to mile is going to be a much plus for this horse, and towards the end of the year, he can only go up to 1.25 miles, which I think is an option as well. And then next year, I think he's a horse that'll stay.
Final 2 rides then for you guys tonight. Bishopton, he has been frustrating. He's run over a variety of trips. He's a long-standing maiden, has been placed in a few cases.
Yeah, he's been placed. He runs well, just knocking at the door without it happening. I thought today might suit him, the track like this. Then the decks came out, I'm drawn 11 over 7, which is a tough task around here. So look, I just have to see what happens. And the horse did the 1.5 miles. I have a lovely draw on him. He's a straightforward horse. He's a 3-year-old having his second run in the handicap. So again, this will be a bit of a shock to him going around here. He hasn't much experience on tracks like this, so we'll have to see what happens.
And finally, for the flat lads, what do you feel the ground's right?
It's yielding, every bit of yielding for us. And it always rides a bit slower on the 2-year-olds. So, it mightn't be probably too bad.
Well done. Good start to the week.
Thank you. Thanks.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.